The raid. Over a dozen officers and 3 SWAT teams led by Lance, the chief, and Connor walk into the building with guns drawn. The chief gives the command to move to the stairs. The large group of constables thin out every floor as some stop on each floor to secure it. By the time to get to the floor that Anna's kept on, it's only Lance, Chief Jackson, and Connor. The door is locked, Connor tells Chief Jackson and Lance as they reach the top of the stairs. Try and bash it open with your assault rifle, the chief says sternly. Connor moves forward and hits the door with his rifle. It doesn't move. Just shoot it, Lance mumbles. No can do. We need to cause as little damage to this building as possible. Scratching a wall would probably take almost $1,000 to fix it if that were to happen, the chief says while trailing off. Lance suddenly has an idea. A friend taught me this, he says. He takes a paperclip that he found on the ground and picks the lock. The door opens up to a dark floor lit up by the light of the buildings outside. The 3 draw their weapons and move in. This is Chief Jackson of NYPD. Come out with your hands up, the chief commands. Suddenly, the danger sensor in Lance's suit starts beeping quickly, and Lance jumps out of the way seconds before a bullet flies past him, hitting a wall. Connor and Chief turn their heads toward the wall, wide-eyed, and Lance turns around and look at who shot him. Hey, armored Arachnid, Lance hears as he squints. Yori lowers a pistol he just attempted to shoot Lance with as Connor and the Chief raise their weapons. Yori Takahashi, Connor asks apprehensively. I go by Viper, Yori says while frowning. Where is she? Where's Anna Davidson? Lance yells angrily as he aims his stun guns at Yori. Steady, Lance, the chief says. Lance keeps his stun guns aimed at Yori. Yori smirks. Look, I'll tell you where your sister is, but I want to fight you first, Yori tells Lance. Connor, Chief Jackson, and Lance look at each other, and Connor attempts to stifle a laugh. Seriously? Lance says, sounding mildly annoyed. Come on, I've always wanted to fight an Avenger, Yuri says excitedly. Lance holsters his stun guns and Yuri gets into a combat stance. Lance shoots both web shooters at Yuri's arms and pulls hard and sudden before doing a flying kick that knocks Viper to the ground. Viper does a backward tuck and roll and then jumps up and runs toward Lance. Viper attempts to right hook Lance before Lance ducks and does a spinning hook kick that sends Viper flying into a wall, leaving a large dent. Lance, no, the chief says as his voice breaks. Jeez, I'm sorry, Lance says softly. Viper recovers quickly and runs up to Lance, sparring kicking him. Lance falls backward, and Viper charges again as Lance gets up. Viper attempts to right hook Lance again, and Lance repels it before uppercutting Viper. Viper stumbles backward, but quickly recovers and attempts to roundhouse kick. Lance takes it extremely quickly and shoots a web at Viper's foot and attaches it to the ceiling. Viper hangs from the ceiling wide-eyed as Lance, Connor, and Chief Jackson look up as Connor starts to laugh. You know, all things considered, you fight pretty well, Lance says. Wow, thanks, Viper says as he smiles. Suddenly, a bright flash of light appears behind the 4. Hello, Metal Spider. Takedown. The bright lights in the room turn on, revealing a young woman aiming a pistol at Lance. I can't believe this. I guess this is what happens when you send a fanboy to do a woman's job, the woman says while side-eyeing Yori. Get to the point already. Who are you? Connor asks. The woman shakes her head. No. Tell me why you're here first. Chief Jackson gets annoyed at this. Why are we... You're the person who's squatting in a business building, Chief Jackson yells. Connor slowly raises his gun and aims down sights. Answer the question. Who are you? Connor asks angrily. Okay, fine, if you want to know so bad. My name is Tiana Larone, the woman says, trailing off. Once his eyes widen enough, Chief Jackson shifts his eyes over to Lance. You're Dante's sister? Tiana asks as she cuts Lance off. You took away my brother, so I took away your sister, Tiana says coldly. Where is she? What did you do? Where is she? Lance does as he unholsters his stun gun and aims him at Tiana. Unless you want your brain blown clean out of your skull, I suggest that you put your little toy guns down, Tiana says after cocking the hammer back. Try shooting through armor. And when there's 130,000 volts of electricity traveling through you at speeds that you can't even comprehend. Lance says. Connor raises his rifle again before Chief Jackson steps in. Everyone calm down. There's a better way to go about this. Look, Tiana, if you let Anna go, we'll let you walk, the chief says while holding his hand in front of him. Tiana shakes her head and moves closer to the police chief. My brother was shipped off to a Canadian prison the day of my 19th birthday. He's in there for life. I'll never see my brother again. I need payback, Tiana says. Look, I've heard about what your brother was doing in Toronto. The armored Arachnid told me that he did it to get money, to support you and himself after the death of your parents almost 7 years ago. I know that it's true, the chief says while trailing off. If you keep Anna, then what Dante did will be in vain, and you'll be going down the same path he did, the chief tells her. Lance glances over and back at Tiana as if hoping the chief's words moved her. My brother was sloppy. He should have killed the metal spider at the top of the CN Tower. He had the vial. He could have taken it and killed him, Tiana says sadly. Suddenly something catches Lance's eye. He sees Anna leaping toward the unsuspecting Tiana with a metal staff in her hand. He could have helped me by killing you, Tiana yells before she suddenly turns around and aims her gun at Anna. Anna stops in her tracks. Tiana looks as if she wants to shoot her, but something is holding her back. She shakes her head and angrily lowers the pistol, pointing the pistol at Anna's half-healed leg. Stop! Connor says while aiming his rifle at Tiana. Lance attempts to run and disarm her before hearing a shot ring out. Lance's vision becomes red. He can't see anything except Tiana dropping her gun and running down the hall. Connor attempts to shoot Tiana but misses his shots. Lance looks over at Anna, who's lying on the ground in pain. Connor and Chief Jackson look at each other. Go, Lance. We'll take care of Anna, Chief Jackson yells to Lance. Lance starts to run after Tiana. Tiana turns a corner and busts through a metal door. She stops for a second before looking up and running up the stairs. Lance sees her, but instead of following, he continues to run forward towards a window. His breath picks up, and he leaps through the window. The glass shatters, and Lance falls through before the web savers catch him. Lance shoots a web at the side of the tower and swings around and into the light of the police helicopter as he lands on the roof. He's just in time to see Tiana running to the roof's edge. Lance quickly raises his stun gun and shoots Tiana. She falls to the ground, making a yelping sound. Lance runs over and turns Tiana over to where she's face up. He gets down on one knee. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to take Anna. You didn't have to shoot Anna, Lance says slowly. Tiana looks at him angrily. I'll never see Dante again, is all she can say. Suddenly, Lance hears a door bust open as multiple SWAT officers strafe toward them. Lance gets up and turns around, walking to the roof's edge. He turns his head to look back, seeing Tiana get arrested. Hopefully now, she gets what she wanted. Lance thinks to himself before jumping off. Lance's web savers fly out and he lands safely on the ground, as he sees Anna being helped to an ambulance. He rushes over as everyone moves out of the way. Anna, are you okay? Lance asks, panicked. I'm fine, Lance. They said I'll be completely healed in a few days. Lance breathes a sigh of relief as he watches Anna get put in the back of an ambulance, and Lance watches her drive away, as Connor and Chief Jackson walk to either side of him. And Lance sees all the people around him. He nods to himself, feeling complete and accomplished. Lance turns around, seeing Spider-Man swing by. He looks up, and can't help but feel like he knows who's under the mask. Color. Indecisiveness. The next morning, Lance sits on his couch in front of the chest plate of his suit, still trying to figure out a new suit color. He lets out a sigh. I still can't think of anything, he says. Wait, what about that guy I saw with the white hood and cape a few weeks ago? No, that's his thing, he adds.